Today we're taking a look at two new products from AirVersa. We've got the Purell Smart Air Purifier, and we also have the Humel Smart Humidifier. Now, both of these devices are smart because you can incorporate them into your Apple Home. But if you don't want to do that, there are physical controls on both of these devices for you to just use them as standalone devices. But in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at both of these units right here, adding them to our smart home, and then also taking a look at the app and what features you get in it. So with that said, let's get started. Now, both of these devices here support Apple Home over Thread. Now, Thread is a secure wireless protocol that allows smart home devices to connect to each other. Now, to take advantage of Thread, you do need to have a Thread border router in your smart home. Now, in the case for Apple Home, you need to either have a newer Apple TV or a HomePod Mini. These devices right here do not support any of the other smart home ecosystems like Amazon Alexa or Google Assistant. But if you do need to get it connected, it does support Bluetooth. Now, I want to thank AirVersa for sending these products out and sponsoring today's video. The first device we're going to take a look at is the Purell Smart Air Purifier. Now, this device is designed for small to medium rooms. They say that the optimal size for a room is about 300 square feet, but it can go bigger than that. It does have a clean air delivery rate of 130 cubic feet per minute. And if you take a look at the chart below that, it can clean a 250 square foot room. It can cycle through 4 times in an hour. A 500 square foot room can do twice in an hour. And a 1,000 square foot room, it can cycle through that air 1 time in a full hour. There are 2 3-in-1 H13 True HEPA air filters built inside of this device right here. The first filter is a pre-filter that's going to remove any lint, hair fiber, and pet fur. Stage 2 is going to be that H13 True HEPA filter that's going to remove smoke particles, dust, pollen, and pet dander. And then we move on to step 3, which is that active carbon layer, which is going to take care of smoke, unpleasant odors such as pet odors or cooking smells. On the top of this device, we have a great looking layout. First thing that you're going to notice is the air quality LED ring around the outside. This is going to give an indication of the quality of the air that you're experiencing. Dark green is really good, all the way from light green being good, yellow being fair, orange being inferior, and red being poor. If you do have this on automatic mode, it will adjust the fan speeds as the air quality gets worse or better. Here is our display ring right on the top. We see that we've got a dark green ring right now, which shows that we have excellent air quality in the room. The indicator right here on the top is we have 008 PM 2.5 value. Down here at the bottom is going to be our power button. Up there is we have got our filter life indicator right under here with these dots. We have got our network indicator on the side. Up here is going to be our sleep button. So pushing that right there is going to turn off the lights on here and bring it down to a very quiet setting. We can go ahead and turn that off right here. Next is going to be our timer. So we can put this timer and tap this and adjust it by the hours to set a timer. Up here, we've got our auto button, so you can have the auto button on or off. I'm going to go ahead and leave the auto on. Next is our fan speed. So if we tap on this, this is going to adjust our fan speed all the way up to 5 different levels. So we have 1 all the way through 5. Let's go back here to auto. We have got our child lock right here. So I'm going to push and hold on our child lock. That is going to turn on the child lock for us. Pushing and holding on that for 10 seconds is what is going to turn that on and off. And then right below that is going to be our filter indicator. When it is red, we need to replace the filters on here. Pushing, holding on that will reset that. Now, those are all things that we can control in the app, but there are physical buttons on here that we can control everything too. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off, and I want to show you here on the bottom our filters. So we're going to turn to open this up, and this is going to take off the entire bottom, and in here is where we have our filters. Now, you have to be sure when you very first turn this on to go in here and take off the plastic. These are both wrapped in plastic, so make sure you get that plastic off on both of these before you get this thing turned on. So here is our screen that we saw for our stage 1. The white below that is going to be our stage 2 filter, and then on the back right here is our carbon filter that we talked about earlier. I'm gonna go ahead and push that back in. Now I'll show you on the side of the device right here, we have got our vents on either side that's going to be going through a filtration. We looked at the bottom, and then here on our back is going to be the power plug and then also our sensor. So this is the sensor that is going to detect what is going on with our device right here. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the native app that they have with the Purell Smart Air Purifier. So I have my air purifier loaded up in Apple Home. I'm gonna go ahead and click on this right here to take a look. We can go ahead and adjust our different settings right there, turn it on and off. If I go into settings, we have a few more things that we can adjust. I'm gonna click on accessories. We've got our accessory for the actual air purifier, and then also taking a look at the sensor that is on the back. We're gonna go ahead and open up the air purifier right here and go into settings so we can adjust things like child lock. We can set the mode from manual to auto. We can turn the modes on and off. We can adjust the fan speed in here. So a few of the things that we're going to be able to adjust natively in the Apple Home app. But if we take a look at the actual app that you can download for this thing, there's going to be a few more options that we have with this device. This is the Sleek Point app. So here in the Sleek Point app, we have got our air purifier, and then we also have the humidifier that we're going to be taking a look at in a second. So I'm gonna go ahead and load up the options for the air purifier right here. We could turn it on and off. We can see that it's connected through Thread. We can see our power level in here, our filter level. We can see if we have a timer, auto. We can turn on the night mode and child lock. And then we also have the ability to go into the graph and see our data for the air purifier. So either the last 24 hours, the last 7 days, the last month, for the different things that you can see. So you're gonna get that all through the app natively. Now that we have seen some of the capabilities with the air purifier, let's go ahead and take a look at the humidifier. Now with the Humidify Smart Humidifier, we're gonna see a lot of the same great features that we saw with the air purifier. Things like its ability to integrate with Apple Home over the Thread network. Inside of the app, we have the ability to set auto target humidity, so we can just leave it on auto. It also has ultra large mist capability of a max of 350 milliliters. We have got a 5.5 liter tank, which is great, so you don't have to fill it up as often. It's designed for large rooms of up to 500 square feet. It has dual streams on top, so you can point those in any direction that you want to. You have the ability to add essential oils in the tray. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the device and the features that we're getting within the app. Okay, here is our base station. We have got our controls right up here on front, our LED lights on the bottom. We do have some rubber feet down here too to help protect it. Up here on the top, this is where the water gets humidified. They get sucked in there. There is a float, so if the water does get too low, the device will turn itself off. Here on the back, we do have our small filter that we can put our essential oil. So if you do want to have an essential oil smell coming through our air intake, it'll suck it off the top of here and allow the fragrance that you want to be distributed through the room. Now it does say on here, do not use this in a dishwasher, do not put any water in the air intake up here, and do not use any cleaning detergents. Inside of here, you do want to use distilled water or any kind of purified water. Now inside the actual tank itself, this is what it looks like. We are going to open up our cap here and fill this up with our water. It does have a 5.5 liter tank, which is huge, and I absolutely love that it is this big, so I don't have to constantly fill it up. But what we're going to do is once we get it on there, we are going to line up our lines here at the back. So we see that we have an arrow back here. Speaking of the back, here is our HomeKit code. We also have power, and then this is again our sensor that we need for it. But let's go ahead and get this lined up. So we're going to line it up with our arrow that we see right here, and we're just going to drop that in, getting our arrows lined up on there. There we go. And then the water is going to start flowing underneath. Let's go ahead now and take a look at those front controls and show you what they do. So here are the physical buttons on the front of our humidifier. We have got our light button right here. So pushing that once is going to turn the lights on, and then we can keep pushing it to filter through all of the pre-programmed stuff that is in the app. Now, obviously we can go into the app and adjust this way more, and then we're going to push and hold to turn these off, but there is a physical button for it, which is nice. Over on this side is the power button, but then also kind of the mode button. So pushing it once is going to turn it on. We have got several different indicators. So we can push it again right here, which is going to put it into low mode. So this is manual low. If we see it on this side with this light turned off, pushing it again is going to put it into high mode, which is going to be maxed out. And then we can push it a third time here, which is going to put it into auto mode. So if you see all lights on in there, that is auto mode. Now on the top of the device, we do have the ability to move our dials around to adjust the direction that our humidity is being blown. Now, let's go ahead and dive into the app and see what additional features we're going to have from our app options. All right, so inside of the Apple Home app, I've got our humidifier right here. Now, it is off, but I'm going to go ahead and click on the settings icon, and then we're going to see accessories. So we have a few different accessories with this device right here. So we've got our humidifier, we've got the light, and then we've also got the humidity sensor and a temperature sensor. So let's go ahead and click on the humidifier right here and go into the settings for that. We have got our child lock option right there. We've got our fan speed. We'll go ahead and we'll just get this on right here. You can see some of the moisture coming out of the top right there. And then we can see our current relative humidity is 66%. Let's go ahead and take a look at it though in its native app. So we're over here in the Sleep Point app. I'm gonna go ahead and click on the humidifier here, and now we get a few more options. So if I scroll down a little bit right here, we can see that we have got a manual control that we can set up. And if we look down below here, we can set the different levels of where we want this at. So whether we want it maybe at a 5 or all the way up to a 9 or 10, we can do that by changing the different things here. Let's go ahead and turn this down. We can go over to auto. Auto here is where we can set a target humidity. So maybe I want the target humidity to be 82, and this thing will adjust as needed. We can set the extensions at either 5 or 10%. And then below that, we have got our child lock and then also our ability to set up a timer. Now, below that, we have got our options for schedules, charts, lights, and settings. So we can go in here and take a look at the charts for the day, the week, the month. Let's back out of that and we could take a look at our different lighting options. And actually, let me go ahead. Let's turn this off. Let's see here. Turn yourself off. Let's turn that off right here. This smoke is too much for me, and go into the light settings now. So from here, we can adjust our light, how bright we want it. So we can dim it through here. And then we also have our favorites down below that. So we've got different favorites here that we can scroll through. We've got our ambience, we've got our fantasy, our energy. So there are some other options that we can do for setting up and controlling these lights. And if we want a little bit more control over the lighting, and then actually with this lighting too, you can actually set up mist sync, which is going to allow the lights to sync up with the mist. So some cool options that we see there. If we take a look at the settings of the device, we have got things like setting up our timer, setting up our temperature, being able to view the water levels, child locks, indicator, lighting, feedback sound. So if you don't want this thing to be beeping, you can turn off that feedback sound. We can sync it up with our time zone. We also have our cleaning reminders, so that's a nice thing to have on here. And then we've got things like our sense of boost and some other options right here. You can see our connectivity is through the Thread protocol connection. Now, neither one of these devices is brand new. They have been out for a while. I think the Smart Air Purifier has been out for about 1.5 years, and the Humidifier has been out for, I think, close to a year now. And from the people that I talked to that have used these, they've been working great. So they have a nice track record of being good, solid units. The ability to control either device on the actual device itself or going into the app, whether it is Apple Home or the actual Sleep Point app to control all of its features, is a huge benefit. Also, being able to integrate this and the sensors built into your Apple Home and set up automations is a welcome addition to my smart home. If you guys want to check out more of these devices, be sure to check out the links in the description. If this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up. Let me know that you liked it. As always, don't forget to subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next video.